From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Searching for answers, how the man behind the wheel of the truck that slammed through a crowd of people in New Orleans could have been inspired by a terrorist group. And contract negotiations, how one of Montana's top insurance providers is in danger of being dropped by Billings Clinic. Plus, new year, new life, how one family is ringing in the new year with the first baby of 2025 in Billings. Good morning and welcome to Montana This Morning on this Thursday, January 2nd. I'm Augusta McDonnell here with Miller Robson.
Hey, good morning, Augusta. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Lots of great stories to come today.
Yep.
The new baby of 2025.
That was cool.
I always love that story every year.
Yeah, cool. All right, big story for us. Well, the first big story is the fog this morning. We are dealing with some fog. Look at that. You can see a great shot there, courtesy of the Stockman Bank weather cam. Visibility is not an issue as of right now here in Billings, but is anticipated as we go along this morning as that fog settles in. Watch out for reduced visibility issues. In fact, we've got some slick roads out there as well. So some spots you may have some issues with the slick roads and the fog. So just FYI on that as you're heading out this morning. You can see right now just down to about 10 or 10 miles right now. So we're okay here in Billings. Livingston down to about 6, 2.5 miles there in Cody. We've got 3 miles there in Miles City. And we'll tell you more about the fog as we go along this morning. Big story, of course, we are eyeballing a winter weather system that could bring a hefty, and I mean a hefty amount of snow to the area as we get into the weekend, and we'll be tracking that and talking about that this morning too. Quickly, yesterday we wrapped up below average. Our high only getting up to about 29, our low of 15, pretty seasonal. Now we're staying below the freezing mark here in Billings all the way through the early part of next week. We're starting the month off pretty much on a dry note. We saw a little bit of snow overnight, but get ready. We can really make a dent in these deficits across the weekend, and I'll show you that winter system, what we're thinking about in totals coming up here in just a bit too.
Alrighty, and here's a live look right now. It's snow coming down in Cook City, just like you're talking about, Miller. Some fresh powder headed our way for all you ski bums out there. This does bode well
big
for the next couple weeks. Yes. All right, Miller, thank you so much. And new this morning, investigators are searching for more answers after a man rammed his truck through a crowd of dozens of people in New Orleans yesterday. At least 15 people were killed and at least 39 people injured. The suspect was killed after exchanging gunfire with police. Yesterday, President Joe Biden said the driver may have been inspired by a well-known terrorist group. CBS's Nicole Valdez is in New Orleans with more.
We have dozens of people that got hit by this car.
Frantic messages from first responders in New Orleans just moments after a man drove his truck through crowds celebrating the new year on the city's famed Bourbon Street.
You just heard this squeal and like the rev of an engine and then this huge loud impact and then the people screaming.
The FBI has identified the attacker as 42-year-old Army veteran Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S. citizen who lived in Texas. Agents say after he rammed the crowd, the suspect exited what appeared to be a rented Ford truck and fired at police. He was killed in the gunfight. 2 officers were wounded.
We are working with our partners to investigate this as an act of terrorism. We do not believe that Jabbar was solely responsible. We are aggressively running down every lead.
The FBI says they found an ISIS flag on the suspect's vehicle and possible improvised explosive devices there and throughout the French Quarter.
Mere hours before the attack, he posted videos on social media indicating that he was inspired by ISIS, expressing a desire to kill.
These are just some of the victims who died in the attack, including 28-year-old former Princeton University football star Tiger Besh.
He was a stand-up guy that we really respected and honored.
Later today, the Sugar Bowl is set to kick off at the nearby Superdome after it was postponed due to yesterday's horrific attack. Nicole Valdez, CBS News, New Orleans.
Sugar Bowl officials say the Superdome and surrounding areas are safe for today's game between the Georgia Bulldogs and Notre Dame's Fighting Irish. Meanwhile, the NFL says it's creating a comprehensive security plan for the next big event at the Superdome next month. They're hosting the Super Bowl. Back here at home, one of Montana's top insurance providers is in danger of being dropped by Billings Clinic. That means Billings Clinic patients with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Montana insurance will either have to pay more money out of pocket or look elsewhere for their health care. And it's all because the hospital says it's forced to negotiate a new contract after not being reimbursed fairly. Our Haley Monaco dives deeper into what this all means and the impact it could have on patients.
Longtime patient of Billings Clinic, April Staudinger, was surprised to get this in the mail.
Shock, simply because I have one physician that I've gone to for over 25 years, and he's in the Billings Clinic.
The letter states a contract renewal negotiation between the hospital and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Montana is underway.
This could limit your choice of doctors and hospitals, disrupt your care at Billings Clinic, and bring higher costs for your care.
She is just one of 40,000 patients with the insurance provider this could impact.
We know based on some publicly available data that we are not reimbursed in a market competitive way.
For 10 years, Billings Clinic has not changed their rates.
There's a point at which the keeping our rates flat for 10 years starts to have an impact, and so we really need to make a change in their contracts to make sure we are appropriately reimbursed so we can continue that care.
CEO of Billings Clinic, Clint Seeger, says the cost of providing that care is becoming unsustainable.
You know, the increased inflationary costs to deliver health care, costs for labor.
In a statement to MTN News, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Montana says, quote, "Our customers and members trust us to protect and keep their healthcare costs as low as possible. It's a responsibility we take very seriously. We'll continue to negotiate on behalf of Montanans we serve and hope to reach an equitable agreement with Billings Clinic," end quote. If an agreement is not reached, patients with Blue Cross who seek care at Billings Clinic would have big decisions to make.
The cost of care for them or their choices for providers through Billings Clinic. And so that's why we're obviously taking this very seriously, and our negotiations are really important.
To be able to continue providing care to patients like Staudinger.
I have several specialty doctors that are all at the Billings Clinic.
The current contract between Billings Clinic and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Montana expires March 31st. As of now, Blue Cross remains in network at the hospital. Reporting in Billings for MTN News, I'm Haley Monaco.
Haley, thanks so much. And one family is ringing in the new year this week with a newborn baby. Taylor and Tony Vasco welcomed their son Huxton into the world at 12:03 a.m. New Year's morning at St. Vincent's Healthcare. Our Matt Carmack introduces us.
3 minutes past midnight, St. Vincent Regional Hospital delivered a healthy baby boy and their first baby of 2025.
At 12:03 a.m., January 1st, 2025, baby Huxton Vasco was delivered to the world.
By the time that ball dropped, you had so much energy just to push him out and get him out and be like, that was the coolest thing I think I've ever done.
Coming almost 2 weeks early at 6 pounds, 11 ounces.
I really like that we get to help people bring their babies into the world with choice and dignity, and it really is just a pleasure being one of the first people that get to see these beautiful beings come into existence.
It's the Vasco family's third baby, and this birth might have been the easiest and most special of them all.
This one was a lot different. It's good to be there for her.
The journey to Billings was a wild one, as Taylor's water broke when she was dyeing her hair at the family's home in Buffalo, Wyoming. Meanwhile, Huxton's father, Tony, was working all the way in Vail, Oregon.
And it was 9 a.m. in Vail, Oregon, when I got the call, and I made it all the way over here to the pilot where I parked my truck at a little after 8:15 p.m., and that's 800 miles away, pretty much. Long drive.
But he made it in time to witness the birth of his new baby boy, which the family refers to as their double rainbow baby.
Then when he had come out, oh my gosh, I was just in tears. I'd never been in tears before.
In between their second and third child's birth, Taylor experienced both an ectopic pregnancy and a miscarriage. When she had a successful birth on New Year's Day, she was eternally grateful.
Yeah, probably this is the best birth I've had, so I'm pretty amazing.
As 2024 ended with a successful pregnancy for the Vasco family, St. Vincent Regional Hospital had a great year as well, delivering a total of 1,773 babies.
2024 was busy and full of life here at St. Vincent Regional Hospital.
After going through the routine 3 times, the Vasco family believes the science to delivering a healthy and beautiful baby is to just let things go with the flow.
Whatever's meant to be is meant to be, and the less you worry, I feel like the easier it is to just go through it mentally.
In Billings, Matt Carmack, MTN News.
Great story. Thank you so much, Mac. And the term chiropractor might bring to mind doctors who adjust human spines. But did you know animals can also benefit? Animal chiropractic care is on the rise. It offers unique benefits to livestock, pets, and working animals. The Montana Ag Network's Jessica Nelson heads to Livingston to explore this growing field.
From race horses to ranch horses or even rodeo horses, equine chiropractic care keeps animals healthy, just like Beckworth here, and pain-free. I want to introduce you to one doctor behind the practice and an owner who says it's made all the difference in her animals.
Good morning. Hi. Good to see you. Any pain?
Nope, knees are good.
This is Dr. Cody Taylor, a chiropractor. But not just any chiropractor. Some days he works in his White Sulphur Springs office. Other days his work brings him here to farms and ranches across Montana, where he specializes in animal chiropractic care.
Mainly dogs and horses. I've done cats, I've done some cows, bulls, pigs.
Dr. Taylor grew up in Circle, Montana, where he rode a horse to school.
I was looking for something to provide a horse without having to be a vet, because I'm not into the whole blood and guts type thing. I'm more of, stay on the outside and help the horse heal from the inside. So.
But why would a horse need a chiropractic adjustment? Dr. Taylor says there are signs. The horse could be lame or resisting natural movements. That's when he steps in and examines range of motion.
The spine not being able to communicate with the brain correctly. So when the adjustment is made, it's to restore that nerve connection to the brain so that the healing can take place within the horse.
Sandy Salee and her husband are owners of Black Mountain Outfitters. She stumbled upon Dr. Taylor's office about 6 years ago.
And I saw a sign that said horses, hounds, and humans. I went and talked to him.
Dr. Taylor has been visiting the Salee Ranch in Paradise Valley ever since. Sandy says Dr. Taylor has saved the lives of several of her animals.
Economically, it's a great investment in the longevity of the horse and the usability of the horse, much less the happiness.
And since animals cannot speak for themselves, Dr. Taylor has to look for signs of healing.
Animals will show you almost immediately. I mean, that's one of the rewarding things of being an animal chiropractor is you'll see the horse lick its lips, it'll shake sometimes, the eyes, like I said, and then with the dogs, they will shake too after an adjustment.
As Dr. Taylor heads to his next appointment, Sandy and the animals look forward to his next visit.
They love Cody and they sense he's going to help them and he's non-invasive and he's not scared.
Dr. Taylor says equine chiropractic isn't just for fixing problems, it's also for preventing them. And for animals and their owners, it's a small adjustment that makes a big difference. In Livingston, Jessica Nelson, MTN News.